Recognize the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Wilson, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Mike Rogers and Ranking Member Adam Smith, for your bipartisan continued efforts to achieve peace through strength. And General Secretary, thank you for your service. We want you to succeed, as I certainly told General Milley yesterday. And that is that we must face the global war on terrorism, which continues, of 9/11, and understand, sadly, that the risks are ever increasing with terrorists coming across the southern border. Additionally, there is bipartisan understanding that we have a worldwide competition between democracies of rule of law opposed by authoritarians with rule of gun. Today, war criminal Putin is perpetuating mass murder in Ukraine. The Chinese Communist Party is threatening Taiwan. And the regime in Tehran pledges death to Israel, death to America. With that in mind, indeed, there is such bipartisan support. I'm grateful to quote an unlikely newspaper, the Washington Post, lead editorial. And so, Mr. Chairman, stay seated. On March 6, which confirmed the murderous invasion of Ukraine by war criminal Putin demands Western support. And, quote, President Biden will be tested and judged by his own success in making a similar case for this country to step up by applying its industrial might. It continues, it is a gap between the West's supportive rhetoric on equipping Ukraine and the pace of actual deliveries of arms and munitions. For our European allies' security, it is also to maintain a basic principle of civilized international relations that one state cannot invade and subjugate another, end of quote. Again, it's clear that the President Biden, according to the Washington Post, and the administration will be tested and judged by his decision to support the courageous people of Ukraine. And so with that, indeed, General Austin, I want to thank you for what you have done in supporting our allies and partners, specifically the most recent Ukraine and European Defense Initiative, along with foreign military sales. However, we must continue to improve expediting and accelerating these processes and rapidly being critical to allow Putin to not succeed with his conquest in Ukraine. With that, a question, since we have nearly 8,000 tanks and tank hulls, can we feasibly increase the amount of M1 tanks that are being provided to Ukraine? And additionally, can we, with pre-positioning, immediately provide these to provide peace through strength?
Well, so let me begin by thanking you and thanking all of Congress for what you've done to support the effort in Ukraine, our efforts to provide security assistance. And as you know, the United States continues to lead the way. We've invested well north of $30 billion in this endeavor, and it has made a difference in the Ukrainians' efforts to defend their sovereign territory. And we will continue this work for as long as it takes. We talk to our counterparts every week. I talk to the Minister of Defense. Chairman talks to his counterpart at least once a week, probably a couple of times a week. We talk to them about what their needs are, what they're doing on the battlefield, and then I meet with them in person every month. And so we really feel that we have a real up-to-date and good feel for what the Ukrainians' needs are, what's required for them to be successful in this fight. And they have really done a great job thus far in countering an adversary that's was incredibly more powerful and resourced than they were, and they fought well and they've inspired us all. They continue to do so. What you've seen most recently is that we have Marshall infantry fighting vehicles, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, Strykers, Martyrs. The Germans are giving Martyrs, Leopard tanks, a number of capabilities to enable the Ukrainians to go on the offensive in the spring when they choose to do so.
Hey, General, I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to thank you, but I do want to point out the American people need to know that in terms of percentage of GDP, actually we're number 9 in terms of providing aid, and so we're not alone in our help. And a final point that I need to make to General Milley, and that is that I appreciate every effort to observe or monitor what the CCP sees is what they're doing, because to me, as they're in the Indo-Pacific, the ultimate target is going to be the Republic of India, the world's largest democracy, and so we need to be successful in protecting Taiwan. With that, I yield back. Thank you.